Imagine being a teenager, just discovering a sport, and in less than a decade, turning into a superstar who would dominate legends like Michael Jordan and Patrick Ewing. This is the story of a humble African kid who shouldn't have been more than a really tall soccer goalkeeper, but instead became one of the greatest basketball players of all time. But how did he go from a late-blooming beginner to the most feared player in the NBA? Let's start at the very beginning. They called him the Dream, but for anyone standing in his way, he was a nightmare. A master of both offense and defense, he could block shots, steal the ball, and move with the agility of a guard, despite standing nearly 7 feet tall. Some say he's the most complete center to ever play the game, and the craziest part, he didn't even start playing basketball until he was 15. Hakeem Olajuwon was born in 1963 in Lagos, Nigeria, the third of 6 children in a family that ran a cement business. His parents had big plans for him. They wanted him to eventually take over the family business, but Hakeem had other ideas. From the moment he could walk, he was obsessed with sports, and in Nigeria that meant one thing: soccer. Being the tallest kid on the field, he naturally ended up as a goalkeeper. And it wasn't just about stopping goals. Playing that position gave him lightning-fast reflexes, incredible balance, and footwork most players would envy. Later, he tried handball, and his combination of height, athleticism, and coordination made him a natural standout. But none of this hinted at the basketball superstar he would become. These early years, running goalposts and blocking shots in soccer, would lay the foundation for agility, movement, and spatial awareness that would later define his signature dream shake. Hakeem was building his skills before he even touched a basketball. At 15, Hakeem walked into a local basketball tournament for the first time, and to be honest, he wasn't very good. Watching a coach demonstrate a dunk by standing on a chair, Hakeem mimicked it perfectly, but when asked to dunk from the ground, he couldn't even reach the rim despite already being 6'7". Yet fate was about to intervene, and in the most unexpected way, but something clicked. The moment he held a basketball, he fell in love, even though he continued playing handball for another year. Basketball had captured his imagination. By the time he turned 17, he had shot up to 6'11", and his skills skyrocketed alongside his height. For a kid who had started basketball just 2 years earlier, the opportunity must have felt like a dream, and it was just the beginning of a journey that would change not only his life, but basketball history forever. Hakeem arrived in the United States with dreams bigger than any airport welcome he could have imagined. No one from the University of Houston was there to greet him, just instructions to take a taxi to campus. And when he finally arrived, he faced another problem. His shoes were 2 sizes too small. Size 16 wasn't easy to find in Nigeria. With his towering frame, incredible wingspan, and agility developed from soccer and handball, Hakeem dominated. He represented Nigeria's junior national team at the U18 Afrobasket tournament and was named MVP, even though his team only won bronze. At that tournament, an American scout named Christopher Pond noticed him. Pond saw raw, uncut talent and told Hakeem that he could earn a scholarship to play in the United States. That summer, he trained with Moses Malone, the reigning NBA MVP. Malone didn't coddle him. He introduced Hakeem to the brutal physicality of American basketball, slamming him to the floor when he tried to dunk, pushing him to develop speed, agility, and a killer instinct. By the time college season rolled around again, Hakeem was no longer just tall, he was a force. When he finally stepped on the court in the 1981 to 1982 season, few could have predicted the superstar he was about to become. He came off the bench, averaging modest stats, while facing legends like Michael Jordan in what would be the first of 24 epic matchups between the two. But every challenge, every setback only pushed Hakeem to improve. The challenges didn't stop there. The NCAA ruled him ineligible for his first year, forcing him to redshirt. But instead of getting discouraged, Hakeem worked harder than ever. He spent hours in the gym building muscle, practicing relentlessly, and even learning English. Every drop of sweat was an investment in his dream. Hakeem's transformation was complete. On the court, he moved like a dream, so effortlessly that his college coach gave him the nickname The Dream. He and teammates like Clyde Drexler formed the first Slam and Jam fraternity, a group defined by above-the-rim dominance and show-stopping dunks. Starting every game, Hakeem averaged 14 points, 11.5 rebounds, and a nation-leading 5.1 blocks per game. Houston became a powerhouse, losing only 2 games in the regular season. In the NCAA Finals against NC State, Hakeem scored 20 points with 18 rebounds and 7 blocks, but in a shocking upset, NC State won on a last-then tip-in. He didn't let setbacks stop him. The following season, he hit to 16.8 points, 13.5 rebounds, and 5.6 blocks per game, leading all players in blocks and rebounds. Despite his dominance, the championship eluded him again, with Georgetown winning the title. Yet, Hakeem's individual brilliance was undeniable. He was voted NCAA Tournament Most Outstanding Player and became a consensus first-team All-American in 1984. His college career set the stage for what would follow, an NBA draft that could define a new era of basketball, where Hakeem's size, skill, and unique agility would make him unstoppable. Hakeem's leap from college superstar to NBA legend began with one fateful coin flip. In 1984, the Houston Rockets had a 50% chance to win the top draft pick, and Hakeem wanted to play for Houston. When the coin landed in their favor, the Rockets selected him first overall, just ahead of the Portland Trail Blazers, who picked Sam Bowie over Michael Jordan. Hakeem immediately made an impact, paired with 7'4" Ralph Sampson, transforming the Rockets from a 29-win team to one that won 48 games. Hakeem averaged 20.6 points, 11.9 rebounds, and 2.7 blocks per game in his rookie season, quickly establishing himself as one of the most versatile big men in the league. Despite the impressive stats, the Rockets fell short in the playoffs, losing in the first round to Utah. But Hakeem's rookie season was just a preview. He absorbed every lesson, trained harder in the offseason, and started shaping the game in ways few could anticipate. His combination of agility, basketball IQ, and raw talent was only beginning to reveal its full potential. Hakeem Olajuwon was no ordinary center. Unlike most big men who relied solely on size, he played like a guard trapped in a 7-foot body. His footwork, agility, and speed, shaped by years of soccer and handball, made him virtually unstoppable. He developed the dream shake. By his second season, Hakeem was already averaging 23.5 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 3.4 blocks per game, finishing fourth in MVP voting and making the All-NBA second team. The Rockets soared in the standings, and in the playoffs, the Twin Towers averaged a staggering 42 points, 30 rebounds, and 4 blocks combined. Hakeem's dominance wasn't just physical, it was cerebral. He read defenses like a book, creating space, exploiting double teams, and scoring from anywhere on the court. His shot blocking became legendary, earning him a reputation as the league's ultimate rim protector. Even seasoned stars like David Robinson admitted, "Hakeem, you don't solve Hakeem." By the mid-90s, Hakeem wasn't just a star, he was the standard. MVP awards, Defensive Player of the Year honors, and All-Star appearances piled up. But his most remarkable trait was how he elevated the game itself, blending size, skill, and strategy in ways no other center had ever done. Hakeem's hard work and unique skill set reached its pinnacle in 1994. The Houston Rockets, led by Olajuwon, powered through the playoffs, sweeping the competition and eventually facing the New York Knicks in a defensive slugfest. Hakeem dominated every facet, posting 25 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 blocks in the decisive Game 7, earning his first NBA championship and Finals MVP. In 1995, Houston's roster added Clyde Drexler, reuniting parts of his college slam and jam fraternity. Despite entering the playoffs as a 6th seed, Hakeem led one of the most remarkable comebacks in NBA history, overturning a 3-1 series deficit and sweeping the Orlando Magic in the finals. Averaging 33 points, 10 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 3 blocks across 22 games, he outplayed Shaquille O'Neal and cemented his legacy as one of the greatest postseason performers ever. As the 90s progressed, Hakeem continued to play at an elite level, even as the Rockets aged and added stars like Charles Barkley. He averaged 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game in 1996, but team success became harder to achieve. By the late 90s, Houston's championship window had closed, despite Hakeem still making All-NBA teams and consistently dominating statistically. In 2001, Hakeem was traded to the Toronto Raptors, where he played his final season before retiring in 2002. Across his 18-year career, he averaged 24.2 points, 12 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.9 steals, and 3.5 blocks per game, with multiple top 5 finishes in MVP and Defensive Player of the Year voting. His playoff stats were even more remarkable: 27.3 points, 11.6 rebounds, 3.4 blocks per game, highlighting his ability to elevate his game when it mattered most. Hakeem Olajuwon retired as the all-time leader in blocks and among the top 10 in steals for a center, an unprecedented combination of defensive versatility. Teammates and opponents alike consider him the most complete center in NBA history. His blend of agility, skill, and basketball IQ made him a player who could dominate in any era, and many argue that his style of play would be even more effective in today's pace and space game. Beyond stats and accolades, his legacy lies in the way he changed the game. He proved that a center could be more than a post player. He could dribble, pass, shoot, and defend at an elite level. Opponents and teammates alike remember him as calm, focused, and almost superhuman in his prime. His story is also one of discipline and personal growth, from a late starting basketball kid in Nigeria to a devout and grounded individual who let his game speak for itself. Even today, when analysts discuss the greatest centers of all time, Hakeem's name inevitably comes up alongside legends like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Russell, and Shaquille O'Neal. But many argue that, in terms of skill, versatility, and pure dominance on both ends of the court, the dream stands alone. His influence is visible in the way big men train, move, and attack the game in the modern NBA. Hakeem Olajuwon didn't just live the dream, he built it, reshaped it, and left it as a standard for generations to come. And in the world of basketball, some things are clear. Legends may come and go, but the dream's impact is timeless.